the Everything and Nothing podcast, where we talk about everything and nothing at the same time. I'm one of your hosts. I am Myra. We got the beautiful Stephanie Pride, our travel Barbie. There we go, our Beyonce of the group. Hello, Beyonce. Yes, and then we got Michelle up there. Hello, Leah. We have Leah. We got Leah returning. How y'all doing, beautiful girls?
What's up, beautiful? I love y'all.
Love you too. Thank y'all for coming back. I'm glad y'all showed up.
Thank you for having me.
No, if I didn't show up, I was gonna get in a whole lot of trouble. So I'm just glad that I made it.
Saying something. Doing business with your family. Doing business with your family is no joke. Okay, if y'all think this looks fun, it is, but it can be so stressful at the same time. Okay.
Listen. I'm too blessed to be stressed.
Okay. So I've said too much already. All right. So let's go. Look, I got my papers. Okay. We ain't even go through them.
What kind of notepad is that with the pepper at the edges of the top?
First of all, it came from a real notebook, Stephanie. It's what grown people do still. Okay.
Hit them with the glasses. Come on, Barbie.
Yes.
She about to wear me out. I need
because Stephanie want to do anyway. We said we're not going to get distracted. We're not going to get distracted. So today, girls, we're going to talk about
what her knows.
Motherhood. Okay. So motherhood or mothering. Okay. And so what I found out was it is such a vast variety of definitions when you talk about motherhood. And I think it's such a loaded word that we can get some really good things and some really good feedback and conversation from you and even our viewers in the comment section to hear about their views about motherhood. But just real quick, when I tried to Google it, and that's just me, I know we all present in different type of ways, but I'm just like that kind of person who always want to say, well, what is the actual meaning of the word? And so the true extent of the word is the literal meaning is just the state of being a mother, maternity, right? But then you can Google it and it'll say, well, what's the true meaning of motherhood? And that's a mother is selfless, loving human who must sacrifice many of their wants and needs for the wants and needs of their children.
Was my picture right there?
Huh?
Like, was my picture there when you found that definition?
No. Okay, no, Mother Teresa was. Then there was a concept of motherhood, and motherhood is just a state in which one experiences a maternal role. So there, I think, when we say motherhood, so many of you guys who are listening probably went to so many different things, whether you were a natural mother and you birthed a child into this world, or you may be a godmother, an aunt, you may be a teacher, you can be just somebody that, a neighbor that assumes that motherly role. You can be a stepmom that, took on a role of a mother and you're raising. I'm a part of a blended family. So motherhood is just super loaded, right? So what I wanted to know from you guys is, when you think of motherhood, do you think it's something that's like a natural instinct, that's something that women are born with? Because if we go back to time, Adam and Eve, Eve she is the mother of life, right? Like she formed this whole
Mother Eve
population. Yes, Mother Eve. All right. Or is it something that we grow up and we see like in our homes? Like, so when we look at our moms, do we aspire to be who she was because of how she raised children and things like that? Or does society play a role in that? Does society tell you as a woman? And I think what we're seeing more with this younger generation, they're not having babies as young. Not all of them. A lot of them are pursuing their careers. They're traveling. They ain't thinking about marriage. They ain't thinking about being a mama. They're living their life la vida loca. Okay. And they ain't thinking about these kids. Okay. They said, forget these doggone kids. And so it's just interesting in the shift, because they're not buying houses, they're not buying cars, the things that we were taught to do, to say, this is what you do when you're grown, this is what you do when you're a mom. So much of the shift has changed. So I'm interested to hear you guys' perception when it comes to motherhood. We all have biological children. God has blessed us. All of our journeys have been totally different. And we have totally different viewpoints. But I'm interested to hear whoever wants to go first.
This topic, I think, is so needed. And I would like to first start the conversation off by saying, I am so godly for the mother that we have. You know,
Yes.
Valerie, Louisa Bennett is an incredible
Valerie is the GOAT.
human human being. Because as I got older, I realized everybody did not have a mother like that who,
Yeah.
because a lot of people who don't I guess want to be mothers and have had stress and strain with their mothers because of the trauma between their mothers, because a lot of women have been through enormous amount of trauma
Yeah.
before they even have their own kids. And so whatever my mom went through before she got to me, I thank God, that she raised us the way she did. So we've had a great mother. So that's number one.
Example.
But number two, just to answer your question, I personally believe that the way that God made a woman, which is a man with a womb, he gave us a natural instinct for mothering. Now, the way that culture is, that shapes who you are, the way that you grew up, that shapes who you are, the way that you have experienced life shapes your perception and shapes how you interact with other people. And so that will have bearings on how you mother, because by the time that you
Yeah.
actually give birth, are you willing to be self-sacrificing? Like, that definition is out cold.
It
And
is.
for some people, they do not have that part in them because of the trauma that they face or the situation. Like, we've seen it firsthand in
Yeah.
our own families and in our friends and things like that. And then we've seen it played out in tons of movies. Like, they do a great job at showing the dynamics of these mothers and how damaging
Yeah.
a mother can be to her child. And so I believe that every woman is born with an instinct to mother, but to what degree and how they do it, I think is shaped by what they've been through.
That's
I
good.
don't think everybody is born with it, but I don't think that you're wrong not to have that instinct to nurture and to care to that level. So I think the landing is the same as Steph, but I don't think every woman is born with that desire to say, "Oh, let me breastfeed," or "Oh, let me
Yeah.
make sure that they have
Right, because
what
I didn't.
they
And,
need."
and I still don't. Like,
You
these days,
know, and so I know it's levels to that, but
yeah.
I think that, you know, to be in motherhood and to be maternal is a little bit different if
Two
you ask
totally different things.
me.
I agree.
And I think that as far as first of all, motherhood is like getting jumped into a gang.
Let me tell you something.
Like it's like, oh, you get pregnant, what you gonna do? You
Yeah.
know, you gonna
Yeah.
have a baby or you not gonna have a baby? And if you
Yeah.
choose to have that baby, it's just like time after time after time. But then, for those that cannot conceive in that way, to adopt is the same way. I feel like,
That's the instinct that I'm referring to.
and I think that's what we're still like. I think we're playing on words, but yeah, it's like once you accept that assignment, I think motherhood is more so of an assignment. I wouldn't say like a calling, right? But it is an assignment and it's a task that you have to take on. Sometimes it's ghetto over here, and then sometimes it's sweet nothings because you're seeing what's becoming right before your eyes. And so I don't know. I can't stand very strong on everyone having that instinct. I think that's why you may have women that don't want to give birth or don't want to mother. And I don't think that they should feel different because they don't have that desire.
Because it's a big challenge, and at times you're not ready. At times you can be younger. At
I
times
wasn't ready.
but
I know I
again,
wasn't
when I was, because
You was ready.
no,
You ain't scared.
I mean, I had my son at
scared.
20. Do I feel like I was equipped to have a baby at 20? No. But then at 33, did I feel more equipped? Yeah. But at the same time, it's to each his own, because I did the best that I could do, with what I had. And I think again that goes back to the innate instinct inside of you is to protect this human. But what I think, society sometimes does to women is to make us feel like because you're a woman, you have to be a mother. And I think the difficulty when Leah talks about the challenges to conceive is society puts so much pressure is you're a woman, you have a womb, you can have a baby. So when you have challenges, something is wrong with you. You're broken.
Yeah.
And I tried to have a baby. Like having two of my kids were unplanned. That's easy. You lay down and you wake up and 4 to 6 weeks later, bang, and we are like, what happened? But then you have this group of people who actually tried to plan and say, I'm going to buy ovulation trackers and I'm going to take my basal temperature, whatever they call it, and I'm going to do all of these things to have this baby. And they have challenges getting pregnant. And then you have this group of people who say, stop thinking about it. You have this group of people who constantly come up to people who are married and say, well, what's wrong with you? How come you ain't have no baby? Because
What Stephanie say, you got to get on her. Stephanie say you got to get on.
You got to get on the floor, on a hard floor, which is
a hard
the
floor,
air mattress, and they got to do it. Yeah, that's why we always tease Stephanie about the hook. Because Stephanie used to tell me that when I was trying to have Isabella. She used to tell me I wasn't doing it right. I needed to do it missionary style. On the floor. She said I got to get on the floor. She told me
it was too hard. It was too soft. It was too soft.
She said you got to get right there.
You know what, Myra, when it comes to that, I think that the reason why we do, because I do think that it's a suffering in silence.
Yeah.
But I think that we do that because for some reason, I don't know who put this on us. God forbid. My God forbid who put that on us, but we don't share it. We don't talk about it.
Like, we do not.
We're so ashamed. But I mean, I don't know if you guys are like me, but I love time period movies and things like that. And for them to show that kings and queens and how hard they fought for a son and how hard they fought for an heir to the throne, and subconsciously that's what we feel. And to talk about our experiences, I mean, it was hard conceiving Amanda. It was hard conceiving TJ. It was fun, but it was hard. I mean, I'm not gonna take
but it is.
And I wish that I would have known, because every time that I was vulnerable enough to share with somebody that I felt safe with, I realized that it wasn't uncommon.
It's not. And even miscarriages, because I experienced that as well. And again, the guilt and the shame, because so much pressure is put on a woman. It's what's inside of my body, is what my cervix can do, what my uterus can do, And so when your body can't adequately carry a baby full term, then you feel like, what's broken in me? Did I eat too much? Maybe I shouldn't have took that trip. Oh my God, I got on an airplane. I caused this. And it's like, no, you did not. So
but the other thing is, we don't talk about this, which is the health disparities for African American women. And the truth is that hypertension is so high among African American women that will not allow Black women to carry a baby full term. And if they are able to carry the baby full term, most of those mothers almost lose their life. They die during childbirth.
And they watch my blood pressure. And I thank God I didn't experience preeclampsia. However, I was one of those mothers. And Isabella, they said Isabella, she wasn't a preemie, but she was like maybe 5 pounds 6 ounces. She was on the lower end. But a lot of that they said was because of my blood pressure levels. Now, it wasn't out of control, and thank God we got it back. Anyway, so to your point, Stephanie, I agree. But let me play devil's advocate before we get.
Don't play the devil. Just
I don't want to be okay. So, ladies, just since we threw that in there, make sure you talk with your physician. Make sure you go talk to your doctor.
Please
know your numbers and do your part at making sure that your blood pressure and that your cholesterol levels are to a
That's
level
right.
where you can be healthy,
Or
because
that
you
your
could,
body
or
is
that your
made
body
to
is healthy, because you could
conceive
sit
and
next to
conceive.
another lady of another race and she'll carry her baby like it's nothing, but just because genetically something in your blood is already there, that's gonna, and so we don't want that to
You do want to know,
You gotta
your
take the
macros.
salt out, huh? You
Yeah.
gotta take that salt out.
Yeah, and I mean, you could do all of that, but like for me, that wasn't even an issue. Like it wasn't my diet. Some of it is hereditary, or some of it. So like and I, you can't be afraid to take your medicine, because that was the thing that I struggled with, because I didn't want to be a statistic. I didn't want to be a part of that number, to be one in every four women are, and I was that one in every four women. And I'm looking at my diet and the way that I eat and my exercise and things like that, and it was like, why? How did I get high blood pressure? My doctor, she's an African American doctor, and I appreciate her. And she just like, this ain't got nothing to do with that. Take your medicine, because I don't need you passing out. But this is the next question I had, because this was a big issue, and I know that we have this Christian background, but I wanted to get your view before we ran out of time. Is about issue 1 that just had to pass, and I know it was a big thing here in Ohio. Michigan is a blue state, so it wasn't an issue there, but about the abortion law. And so when we talk about women in our bodies and producing and, conception, how do, how, not necessarily, you don't have to share your view of opinion with
heavy.
your bra. It's heavy.
I
And we
don't
know what
mind.
the Bible says about life, and God don't make no mistakes. And, to be perfectly transparent and honest, in one of the episodes we talked about me and teenage pregnancy, and I don't have a problem with sharing my journey. I had an abortion, for a very long time. I covered it up and I said that, it was a miscarriage. And that's just what I decided, to tell. That was easier. That was an easier story for me to lead into at that very young age. But I did. And for the rest of my life, and especially for my pregnancies, I was very afraid, that God was going to punish me for that particular decision. But, to be perfectly transparent and honest, I still feel like at that time, that still was the best decision for my life. Now, did I struggle? Did I need deliverance from it? And, do I still have some shoulda, woulda, coulda? Yes. However, at that time, I still felt like that was the best. That was the best decision for my life. So when we talk about, things when it comes to issue 1, or when it comes to women in their body and abortion, and when does motherhood start and when does life begin, I felt like, I'll put myself out there first. I felt like, the government should not have a say in that, because just like God, He gives us free will. And just like God, He gives us the choice to choose right and to choose wrong, to flee youthful lust and all of those things. But we also can go another way. And I feel like with this, it is your free will, and you have to decide what to do with your body. You have to decide when to lay down. You have to decide. So that's my viewpoint. And so I voted differently, and I said the government should get out of that business. This is your body. You have to figure it out. But
Yeah.
I'm very interested to hear, what you guys' perception is, because we all have children,
Yeah.
and we all have different experiences when it comes to conception. So I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say when it comes to that topic.
Hey, hey, in all honesty, it's not their business. I don't, I'm kind of out there, and I don't think that, I think my conversation or my argument starts before the conception of the child. My argument is, you shouldn't be out there screwing around. Protect
Not
yourself.
screwing around.
You know
Do
what I'm
your
saying?
fingers. Do your fingers
Don't
again.
do it.
Put
You
a
know,
hat on
so
your
that's,
Jimmy.
yeah. Protect yourself. You got the opportunity to
Hold
not
on, Stephanie. What you say? Put a hat on your
Put
Jimmy.
a hat on your Jimmy.
put a tent on yo. I mean, so in all honesty, that's
Protect
where my argument
yourself.
starts. My argument starts there. So when
Yeah.
we get to the part of conception, I do believe that it is your choice. And I think that's the beautiful thing about Christ, our
Yeah.
Savior, who died on a cross for us, is that He does not pressure us or make us love Him.
Yeah.
He doesn't, and when it comes to the government, I feel as if you want to be involved in my uterus, then be involved in my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Be
Come on.
involved in my marriage. Be
Everything.
involved in everything. Then,
I don't
okay.
want them in that either. But to
But
your
I'm
point,
saying,
pay
if
for the
you want
baby's
to be
education,
concerned about that,
make college free.
that's
If
what
you
I'm
want to
saying.
be involved in, make college free. Make
If you
all
Now
feel
you're
like I'm that
talking.
important
pay
to
the
you,
teachers to educate them.
that's all.
Talk about
Give
it.
them more
Yeah.
money than
Make
basketball players.
healthcare free
You
and
see what I'm saying?
affordable for all of Americans.
Because
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do with this baby once it's here, y'all don't want nothing to
Absolutely.
do with it. Yes, Stephanie.
100%.
Okay, so Steph, go. Is that your whole stance, or what you got to say?
Yeah, so I don't believe that the government should have any say so in abortion. We are in America. Now, if we were in another country where democracy was not a thing, then you know, they regulate all kinds of things over there. But over here, they should not have any business in my uterus because every woman is when it comes to pregnancy and conception and childbirth has a different story. So
Yeah.
what's the difference between me and a lady that just got raped, or a 13-year-old or 11-year-old girl that is, you know, molested? Or I'm having trouble and it's either me or my baby and I have to make that hard decision. Get
Yeah.
out of it because it's not just one easy answer for everybody.
That's it. That's all I'm saying.
That's good. That's a good talk, y'all. I think we might.
But as we close, we must say
Yeah.
that it is God who gives life. And so if you
Yes.
have the opportunity
Most definitely.
to have this amazing partnership with the Lord to bring forth life,
Yeah.
and we just wish you all the best and praying for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't wind up in that predicament. You know what I'm saying?
And let's say this right quick before my music run out is there's always a different way. If that's something that you desire, because I know we're going to have an episode 2, but I know that's something that I had to stand strong with my sisters and my family and my husband, because it was a challenge for me to conceive as well, especially for my daughter Isabella. But there is another way, and I don't think it's not of God to seek other avenues, as far as in vitro or artificial insemination or adoption, just different ways.
That's heavy. That's a whole other
conversation.
God gives us doctors. God gives us another ways, and it's not a lack of faith. You know what I mean? It's just we all have different. Again, like I shared the journey about miscarriage. Pursue it because there are so many different ways, and that's our testimony. We overcome by one of those testimonies, right? Yeah. And so I had a different journey, but some of the things and some of the challenges that I went through help encourage another woman, you know what I mean, or another person in that situation. So don't forget that there are other options and pursue that, and that has nothing to do with your faith. So thank y'all for tuning in. This has been good.
Thank you for your transparency. Beautiful.
No.
Namaste.
Namaste.
I love y'all. Y'all have a good day. Talk to y'all later.
Cheers.
Yes. Love and peace. Go with God.